Hello everybody. The book I chose to read today is an old book. This was a book that was mine when I was a little kid, so you know it must be pretty old. So this book is called Corky. You can also tell it's an old book because of the price on the book. It was only 29 cents, and your mommy and daddies will tell you books cost a lot more now. Plus, as I read the book, the pictures might be a little bit old-fashioned, but I thought it was kind of a cute story. I like puppies. I like dogs. I have a dog called Livy. She doesn't like to be on camera though, so I can't show you. But this is Corky. And let's see if Corky has an author. The book was written by Patricia Scarry, and it's illustrated by Irma Wild. And remember, the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures. So let's see how this book goes. Corky was a big, black, friendly dog. He lived with a little boy. It looks like they're having a lot of fun in that picture, doesn't it? The puppy's licking the boy and the boy's laughing. Uh-oh, this page got ripped a little bit. Corky loved to carry things in his mouth. The little boy threw a stick into the sea. In went Corky to fetch the stick. Corky must like to swim. Then Corky raced up the beach with the stick in his mouth. "Oh, that Corky!" cried the people on the beach as the sand flew onto their beach towels. Some people probably liked watching the puppy run, but I don't know if many of the people would like the sand flying up on their beach blankets or flying on them while they're on the sand. That might upset some of the people. Puppies like to be mischievous. They get in trouble a lot. One day, the little boy took Corky to the pond in the park, and Corky jumped in after the sailboats. "No, Corky," said the little boy, "put that boat back." Did you ever sail a boat in the water? Maybe in your swimming pool in the summer, you put a little boat in it? Corky must like water because he went in the water at the beach and now he went into the pond where the little sailboats were. When the little boy played ball, Corky ran after the ball. Most dogs like to play fetch. My dog doesn't like to play fetch. Most dogs will run after a ball and either run around all the way with it or bring it back to you to throw it again. So Corky ran after the ball when the boys were playing. And let's see what Corky did. Proudly, Corky carried the ball to home plate. "No, Corky, drop the ball. No, no," everyone wailed. Corky just wanted to play fetch. He didn't want the boys to play ball. He thought they should be playing fetch with him. And the book said everyone wailed, which means they yelled sadly. Corky loved everybody. He liked to bring them presents. One morning, Mrs. Cooper was having breakfast in her garden. Corky brought her a pretty green garden snake and dropped it on her foot. "Eek!" shrieked Mrs. Cooper. "I don't think my puppy's ever brought me a snake. Livy has brought me a bird." I didn't like that either. The only person Corky didn't like was the little boy's teddy bear. That bear never let Corky be alone with his little boy for 1 minute. He rode with him in his kitty car while Corky had to run behind. There's that teddy bear that Corky didn't like. And the kitty car the little boy is riding looks like what we might call a tricycle. And the bear's on the kitty car with the little boy, and Corky sadly walking behind it. And when the little boy took his nap, that rag bear slept on the pillow beside him. Poor Corky had to sleep under the bed. That's a lucky teddy bear and a very sad Corky. Once, Corky found the bear alone, and he took him out to the garbage can. But the little boy found him and said, "Oh, you naughty dog." Poor Corky. Looks like he's given the teddy bear to Oscar the Grouch in the garbage can. One day, Corky was at the beach chasing beach balls. "Please take your dog home," said the lifeguard. The little boy left Teddy Bear at the water's edge to guard a sand castle. Little boy must live pretty close to the beach if he can take Corky to the beach all the time. That would be fun. Later on, nobody could remember where Teddy Bear was. He didn't turn up for supper. Everybody looked. All the neighbors looked. And at bedtime, there was no bear to take to bed. The little boy cried. Do you have something favorite that you like to sleep with? Maybe you have a blankie or a favorite stuffed animal. Would you be sad if you couldn't find your favorite? I would be. This little boy is sad because his teddy bear isn't home. Corky cried too. He sat in the garden and howled. He howled until Mr. Cooper next door threw a shoe out the window. Oh my. I don't think I would want to lose my shoe to the dog. I wonder what Corky would do with the shoe. Corky caught the shoe in his mouth and brought it back to Mr. Cooper's door. He scratched and scratched, but Mr. Cooper wouldn't open the door. He just shouted, "Corky, go home!" Corky must have thought Mr. Cooper was playing fetch with his shoe. Sadly, Corky went down to the beach. The tide had washed the castle out to sea. To cheer himself up, Corky chased some seagulls. We have lots of seagulls by the beach here where I live. I'm sure Libby would like to chase the seagulls, but I've never taken her to the beach. This game was one the gulls enjoyed too. A playful old seagull, who was Corky's friend, dropped a clam on his nose. Then he fluttered to the seawall and waited for Corky to chase him. There's that old seagull. Corky raced along the rocks, and the gull swooped. Corky skidded to the end of the rocks. Splash! Into the water he fell. He came up sneezing and mad. Then his nose bumped something soft. I'm glad Corky wasn't hurt when he fell off that wall into the water. Why, it was the lost teddy bear. Corky raced home with the wet bear in his mouth. He scratched and scratched on the door. He whined. He howled. At last, the little boy's daddy came to the door. He looked very cross. But when Corky dropped the wet bear onto his slipper, oh, how he smiled. First, the little boy's dad was cross. And when they say he was cross, it means he was angry or he was upset. But seeing the bear sure made Dad happy again. Everybody was so happy to have Bear back home. The little boy hugged his bear. He gave Corky a warm hug and a kiss too, and took him right up to his bed. Oh, I think Corky's happy again. I think the little boy's happy, and I think the teddy bear's happy. There Corky slept, all wet and sandy, his tail thumping with happiness. Now that Corky doesn't have to sleep on the floor by himself, he gets to sleep with the little boy. After that, Corky and Bear were friends, and everyone called Corky a hero. Yay, Corky! Wasn't that a nice feel-good story? Puppies can cause lots of trouble, but puppies can also be our best friends. I hope you enjoyed listening to Corky today. I'll have to see what book I can pick out for next time. Have a nice Saturday. Bye.